Welcome everyone in BCS. Best City Survives. Week 3 is in the books. Let's go over some games, starting with a very special themed. October's here, so we know it's Halloween time. And we start out with the Raiders 1995, picking up his first win of the season with a big win over the St. Louis Battlecocks, 130 to 116. It sucks when you drop 116 and still lose, as Big Jabrowski goes to 2-1. Still right there tied for first in the division. Raiders saved their early part of the season going to 1-2. Andy Dalton with a gigantic 36 points. Who would have thought Andy Dalton would be key in a victory like this? 39 points, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, man, best weapon in sports right now with fantasy. Christian Kirk, 15 points, 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. So, great game for both teams, but the Raiders just too much this week. Andy Dalton, the surprise, and Tua with the 4 touchdowns put them over. Big victory for Raiders 1995. Here we go with our next one. And anytime you get a 2 top 8 ranked teams, and you got one with number 5 against number 4, JT 2603 against Bishop Sycamore, 140 to 92. Solid game by both, but Bishop really took it to him. Super Freak goes to 2-1. He does get ranked as he was not previous first 2 weeks. Jordan Love, 33 points. Excellent fourth quarter against the Saints. 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, man, he drives me nuts. He disappears and then he reappears, and he reappeared this week for 26 points, drops triple digits in yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen, we know what kind of MVP he can be for a team as he's carried teams to championships. 29 points, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, solid performance with 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, 17 points. You're going to usually, our first season, you can get away with 92 when we ran 20 teams. When it gets down to 16 teams, you're going to have to drop 100 at least each game to get the win. Either way, good game for both teams. Now we get to number 8, River City Reapers with a 113 to 98 victory over A1 A-Holes. Just an illusion, goes to 2-1. Chris Olave, good game, right? We know they didn't have Derek Carr, still 20 points, 8 catches, 104 yards, doing what most fantasy experts, including us, expect him to do. Gardner Minshew, solid game in Baltimore, 19 points, drops over 200 yards. I expected him to have around 20, so that was a smart start for Just an Illusion. Jack is Daddy, drops to 0-3. Good news for him, he's only 2 games out. Remember, we just got to finish top 2 in division to make qualifying for the division championship. Kenneth Walker, 30 points, 150 plus yards, and 2 touchdowns. Great game for him. Jamar Chase, welcome back to relevancy. 28 points, 12 catches. That's a career high with 141 yards. So his 2 top stars really performed. He just missed out on a few other guys, or he could have broke 100 and possibly won. Into the Pit. Thank you so much, Falfity, for changing your name so I don't mess it up like I used to. Into the Pit with a 114 to 101. Here, this is what I'm saying. You got to drop triple digits, and even then, you're still going to lose some of these weeks. Play Naked gets 101. Good game for him as he goes to 2-1, and Falfity goes to 2-1. We got a lot of teams in our league that are 2-1, which I really like. DK Metcalf, 19 points, season high, 112 yards. DeAndre Swift, man, I am so in love with him. I'm glad he got out of Detroit, just like Gibbs is getting wasted. Now he gets to shine in Philly, 130 yards, playing like we know he could do. CJ Stroud, excellent game, 28 points. He's looking like the rookie of the year. I felt that his accuracy looked like the best, and it's still tough to see which of the rookie quarterbacks. It's too early to see who's best. Trevor Lawrence, 24 points, 279 yards, and a touchdown. Good game. You think T-Law might have maybe broke 30 to help him in this one, but Into the Pit, Falfity gets the win, goes to 2-1. Both teams 2-1. Great start in the first 3 games. Now we get to our next game, one of my favorite team names, Dewbridge. I miss saying that. Goes to 2-1 with a 140 to 61 victory. Number 6 team, he is ranked. Dixie Yanks, he comes out of the gate ranked high. His rookies have not performed. Bijan Robinson, not bad, 10 points. He had a better game last week, but he needs a little more. Once his rookies get a little more developed, his team will be fine. I still think he's a top 10 team overall, but this was a tough week for him. Deshaun Watson, 29 points in the loss. He still got a victory, though. At least he's not 0-3. Justin Herbert, 46 freaking points, 400 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Great game for Herbie, fully loaded. And Mostart, where did that game come from? We know he has that potential, but that Dolphin team, oh my gosh, both running backs, 45 points, 140 total yards, and 4 touchdowns. I think his 4 touchdowns were in the first half. So Dubridge is loving life right now. Big week for him. Here we got our number 1 team, Tallahassee Tuggers, with 156 to 148. You feel so bad for H. Fickey, who drops to 0-3. He deserves a win. You cannot score 148. Well, one other guy might disagree with this and get the loss. But Devontae Adams, 44 points, giant game on Sunday Night Football, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jimmy G with the stack. These guys combined for 75 points. That is monstrous. Tough loss for him because Maryland Maniacs should have got the win. But Tuggers, Goff, 26 points, 243 yards. Debo, 27 points, 129. Debo's looking great. I didn't think he'd be this good. I thought McCaffrey would run that team, but Debo's having just an outstanding year to start early in the season. But our number 1 team, huge victory for him to stay number 1 with a 156 to 148 victory. He's got to be a team to chase. We know up and down his depth is really good, and he's putting up monstrous points. That's why I have him ranked number 1. Here we got east of the pond, the number 2 team in the league with a 153 to 99 victory over 540 boys, our 2021 league champion. MSC 1987 goes to 2-1. Tyreek Hill, 32 points. Gigantic game. It's funny though. It looks like, hey, 9 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown. That usually leads your team. But he was 3rd on his team in fantasy points. That's how great the game was. Heck, he might have been 4th if you count a Dolphins defense. Russell Wilson, 25 points in the loss. That's what you love about fantasy. Even though the team might get their butts handed to them 70-20, you still can see your weapons on offense go out and drop 25 fantasy points. I love it. Doesn't matter. Skin Fan 77 goes to 1-2. Hey, I'll take a 1-2 start, right? A lot of teams, like I said, are 2-1. Kirk Cousins, monstrous. I think he's going to continue to be big for Skins Fan. 39 points, 367, 3 touchdowns. Dak, 23 points. So good quarterback play. He needed some help from the other positions, which did not get it. Here was probably our game of the week. This is our highest combined score, I believe, in league history. As Konami Cheat Code, 191. My team, USC Trojans, 193. Honestly, I didn't even pay attention Monday night. I thought it was over. And man, did his team ever come back with a great Monday night, that Bengals-Rams. But Lamar Jackson, 35 points. Keenan Allen, 49 points. No way he should have lost this game. It's just a bad luck. That's why Konami Cheat Code, Pionio 13, is still ranked in the top 3. My team, LA Rams, Achane gets 55 points, 200 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Honestly, I'm not going to take credit for him. I had no other options, so I had to put him in. I thought he'd get me 8 or 9 points. It was pure luck. Patrick Mahomes, 34 points, 3 touchdowns, doing what Mahomes does. So this is monstrous. Even the other guys not mentioned had gigantic games. We both almost combined for 400 points. Great game for Pionio. We'll see what happens next week, but he's still top ranked. Carrying low, this is where we go over the top position players that were played. And of course, my guy right there, Devin, came up with the 55 points for the Dolphins. Huge rookie game. Keenan Allen, man, what a humongous game for him. 200 receiving yards, dropping mega fantasy points. And of course, TJ Hawkinson with 22 points, one of the top tight ends played this week. So that is it with Carrying the Load. Let's go over our top 8. I did post it earlier in the week. Tennessee Tuggers. Some of the rankings are always based off of how I view your team, what I want this team, and how well they're playing. It takes many factors. Tennessee Tuggers is playing great. He's not my favorite roster. Honestly, Pionio 13 is probably my favorite roster. He dropped 2 spots to number 3 just because, you know, his team has not got as many victories and playing as well as Tennessee Tuggers. MSC 1987, he was number 7, or was not even ranked, and jumped all the way up to the top 2. His team's playing so well. And JT 2603, he came down 1. Not bad, right? You still want to be top 8. Bishop Sycamore, he jumped up unranked. He is number 5. Dubridge doesn't drop, doesn't raise. He's still right there as he started the season. My team came up from nowhere. Danny LA Rams, number 2. Just because I had a monstrous game, we'll see if my team can continue. But if A-Chain doesn't do anything, it's not gonna. I'll probably drop out. And Justin Illusion, great job jumping down 3, but staying still in the top 10 as he is 2-1 in first place in his division. Thanks a lot, guys. Have those rosters ready and enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you next time.